Stop Asian hate!
Justice for the Roques!
Unite against Asian hate!
Unite against Asian hate!
When we heard about this case in Southern California, we immediately wanted to support the family. The process is long. It could be discouraging for everyday people who are not familiar with the judiciary process. It's actually a big community issue. We're not doing this just for the Roque family. We actually want to send message to other victims of hate crimes to also come out. And when you are ready to take on the fight, the community is here ready to support you.
PYK, Filipino Youth Kollective, we really were born out of this campaign. Patricia is one of our leaders in the campaign. So we really saw a need to have like an organization where youth can fight for their issues, fight for the issues of our community. And we're so lucky to have like the family to inspire this organization.
For us, this case really holds a lot of weight and a lot of significance because it'll set the precedent of how future cases are handled, especially around anti-Asian hate crimes. I think our community continues to be ignored and cast off to the side. And so now this case really shows a lot of significance in terms of being able to show that the community is not going to let this issue go away and that we're going to continue to fight for justice for the Roque family.
When you have a cause that you really believe in, and I think also when you experience that, I think the number one thing that ran through my mind is I don't want anyone else to ever go through that again. And by doing your due diligence in reporting, that helps contribute to the cause. It feels like one small little action, and that small little action will have any big impact. But all those little actions build up together, and that's how you can create change. Your words and your voice does matter, and I think a lot of people tend to forget that.
But yeah, my role within the campaign is really documentation and social media. I've been at every court hearing, every rally that the family's held, just trying to document the entire process of the campaign and kind of hoping to create a map, like a roadmap of the successes and the challenges that they're facing, so we can turn that into information for other survivors of hate crimes. I think when I started filming, I saw myself as a documentary filmmaker. 10 months later, I'm starting to see myself more as an organizer with a camera. The camera is just my tool for outreach and supporting the community and the Roques. In a way, I've dedicated more of my time to actually supporting the campaign and using the footage to boost it. And that's felt really meaningful.
We've actually asked different government entities for support. The process is very bureaucratic and long, but the needs are now. It's not later, it's not after they win the case. The damages, the trauma that they have, those are now, that's every day. And so every single day we're out here to really raise support for the family.
We're gonna show them that no matter how long it takes, no matter how many delays that they've forced on the community, that we're not gonna back down just because it's frustrating. We make so many sacrifices every day. These community organizations, they sacrifice their day to come here, but we know that the only way that we can create change is to make these little sacrifices.
Well, obviously, I hope this goes to trial. I really want to see the court take the family seriously and give this the attention it deserves. We're not going to stop, even if this goes to trial and the attacker is found guilty. That won't be the end of the campaign, because systemically things need to change to actually support victims of hate crimes, especially migrant workers who are disproportionately affected by these incidents.
But that is definitely our hope throughout this whole campaign, is to show that people can speak out and that there's community standing behind them and with them to be able to, so that way we don't have to be silent anymore.
Today was a breakthrough for us. After waiting months and months and coming to court day after day, we finally have a go date. So the next hearing will be the preliminary hearing. This is when the victims, Marissa, Patricia, and Gabriel, will have the ability to finally tell their story, to tell the story to the court, and to hold the defendant accountable. So please, be here, continue to share the story, and stand with the Roque. Thank you.
As easy it is to think about giving up, it's not just me that is giving up. It's my family that has to give up. It's a whole community. It's a whole campaign that has to give up. It's all the more reason to stay strong and to be determined in trying to fight that negativity and to bring only nothing but hopefulness to it.
Do you guys ever talk about that night? Do you guys ever talk about, oh, what if we had just cooked at home? Would you change any of those?
I would always think about it, and sometimes I would bring it up to my parents saying, you know, I shouldn't have asked Mom to drive us out that night. I should have just stayed hungry that night. Should have just stayed home. My mom said something about how we're glad that it happened to my family, because what if it had happened to another family who does not have a huge support like we do right now? You know, what about their story? And so we try to look at the silver lining at the incident, and it's great that we have numerous organizations that are backing our story in order to move it forward and to reach great heights.
It's disheartening. It's a roller coaster of emotions, isn't it? Because when you're representing these people, you're invested emotionally and pro bono too, like your time and effort. Why? Why do you do this?
Well, when I became a lawyer, I really wanted to be able to advocate for my family because there were several injustices that happened to my family. And I continue to do this type of work because the Roque, they are my family now. And every individual that has been attacked for no other reason but because they looked a certain way and the color of their skin, that's just not right. And that's why I do what I do. And I can fight for this family as though I would be fighting for my own family.
Right. And what would be the best case scenario for the Roque family?
The best case scenario would be that Nicholas Weber would be convicted on all counts with the hate crime allegations and for him to be sent to state prison.
And the worst case that may happen?
Worst case could be they would release Nicholas Weber at the next hearing if the judge found that there was not enough evidence to hold him to trial.
One of the default reactions of victims is self-blame and shame, but there's pride in what you're doing. What are you most proud of from all of this?
Being able to give back the amount of effort and time that the community has been giving us. I'm part of an organization, a student youth organization, and by being in it, we try to wage the campaign to other students. That's only one of the things that I can do to give back to all of the support that my family and I have been receiving.
What would be your message to those out there who may have experienced something similar? How would you encourage them? What would you want them to take from your story?
I think it's to not be deterred by anyone and to speak up. And our main goal, the campaign that we started, is to definitely give a voice to the voiceless. And I hope that's the one thing that we can provide victims with